Yo, welcome to the world of Alan. So in this video, we're gonna give Claude Design a try after the release, and we're gonna compare it with Lovable, the king of websites and web apps, Gemini, the big boss of creativity, and Codex from OpenAI. So I have a very simple brief. I have a newsletter. If you haven't, you should subscribe, where I talk about AI for solopreneurs. And so in that newsletter, sometimes I'm going to give stuff away, freebies. And so I figured I could have a landing page where I would share my assets. So it could be a file, it could be a video, it could be whatever, kits, etc., etc. So I went into Claude Design. Just move my side on the face. My face on the side rather. And so went to Claude Design and gave it a very simple brief. All the builds were one shot, so no fine tuning, no revisions. So I want to create a landing page where I'm going to be sharing freebies. I need the list on the home. I'm thinking categories, and these are the assets for my branding. So this is kind of my YouTube assets I've done a long time ago. So just dump them and see what comes back. So the process is quite nice because the prompt is separated from the assets. So this serves as kind of the design system input. And also I say I need this live in 30 minutes, which never happened, but it's fine. It was just to give a kind of urgency to the model, see if that changes anything. And so blah blah blah, build to-dos, blah, and this is what came back essentially. So I'm just trying to see. They have a nice tweaks panel that you can use, which is nice. But if let's say one sec. There you go, just need to expand. So this is the landing. Not so bad. I like the list or the little animations right there. And so we do have the filters that I asked. The only concern I have is it's not really following the design stuff I gave. So it's very a bit blunt or whatever the name is. What I really like is it went above and beyond on the template itself. We gave some metadata. You can copy, you can print and save, you can download. This is great. And it actually built the actual template for me, which is not in the brief, but okay, why not? And so it's very fancy, very cool. The only issue is if I want to change, then it becomes my problem to make sure I follow this kind of segmented inputs and content. And when I create more content, either I have it to do it for me, which might not be always relevant, or it's gonna not look the same. So it's good to have stuff that's beyond the brief, but then it becomes a burden to maintain. So good and bad. But overall, good. Just a bit basic, and just a list. And it also some other thing nice. It gave the like examples of other things that might come soon. The other issue with this is that maybe I don't want to do this, so I have to now change and go and change and stuff. Also, one item, this feels like it's in order. When if I do freebies, you can just go and pick whichever you want, so it shouldn't feel like it's an order you have to download in order. So that's the first one. Then I went to Lovable, same brief. Hopefully it's not gone. Yes, same brief. Then I added all the files, almost all the files. I think I missed one. And this is what came back. So I don't really like the font, actually. That's the font that's the thing that bothers me the most. But we have a hero to feel a bit more branded. And then I actually really like the background pattern. It's really pink, which is what I want. What is based on the assets I gave. Same templates are there. We have cards instead of a list. Why not? And they kind of created a docx file, which every time I click, it creates a endless nested lovable windows within that window. So I'm not going to do that. But it's closer to the brief. I love the logo. This could be adjusted for sure with further refinements and revisions. And it only gives me what I asked, which is also good and bad, because then I don't have to go and remove stuff that is not applicable. The copy is not bad, you can search, etc. So that's not bad, pretty good. Then I went into Antigravity, which one is that? This one is Codex actually. So this is Antigravity Agent Manager. And same brief, same thing. This is Gemini 3.1 Pro because I have a workspace, Google Workspace account, so I do have access to 3.1 Pro. I think actually even everybody has it, even if with a Gmail account, you should have access to that. Same brief, exact copy paste. And then what came back is this. So which one is it? No, this one. So this one, I really like the background. As you can see, I'm pretty fond of the pink itself. Beyond the brief is a cards versus list layout, which is appreciated. The only big issue I see is it's very difficult to read, but I love the Apple like liquid glass feeling and the motion thingy, so it's pretty nice. It also created more than what I asked, but a bit simpler. And I think when you there's no going in, and this is just a blank link, so it didn't try to invent assets for me. But I really love the background, and then I could easily, as a revision, say add my banner, or this is the font you should be using, because I didn't give the fonts whatsoever. So the only main complaint I have with this one is the white on pink, so it's a bit difficult to read. Last but not least, I went to Codex, which is the coding agent from OpenAI. You can have access to it. I think they have it on free now, but I have a Plus account. I actually have a Pro account, but I was on the Plus plan. So the ChatGPT Plus plan, $20 a month, and same thing. And so to make sure it's clear, I said I just added attaching the design reference and saving to this folder. The funny thing that happened is that it started to look at the folder structure, and I created the folder just besides the one from Gemini. And so you can see it's like, oh, there already is a Gemini prototype, so I'm just going to do that and see blah, blah, blah. Cheater! Don't look at other people's work. So it's actually already complaining, oh, it's nice, but it's not great, blah, blah. So I stopped that, went to a completely different folder, asked for the same brief. No cheating, please. Do whatever you would like to do on your own. And this is what came out. And so if you've read my newsletter about the personalities of the agents, ChatGPT or GPT, whatnot from OpenAI loves to talk. So it always tries to find things to say. And so it's a bit overwhelming, way too much copy and content. Why would you put so many images? But I think it's trying to leverage the images as much as it can. I would actually have put this just right there, but whatever. Way too much content. But this feel actually, why it feels beyond the brief is that this feels like an app more than a landing. So I can really feel this being, if I try to squeeze it in a mobile view, so this is obviously ugly, but you have the categories cards, you have the featured template, and then you have the list of templates. And so I can really see easily a way to convert this into, this feels easier to convert into an actual app or an actual portal more than the other one. So again, not really the brief, but it's nice that it came up with more ways to showcase the same thing, and even found new colors that match, because my stuff is just pink and pink and pink. So these colors that it came up with are actually pretty nice. I love the feature, and maybe the image not applicable, but not bad. I like the concept. Is just way too much text, like always too much text with Codex. And it also generated the file for me, but it's just an MD file, which is what I would be giving anyway, so it's not that one, but it generated for me, so not too bad. Now, one can say I prefer this one, I don't like this one. This is this is all one shot. No feedback given. The brief again was very small. I didn't give color codes. I just give dump the assets and figure it out to see what it came out with. So overall, I think everybody has a very good first shot at it. If you feel this one might feel a bit more pro, but a bit less like my brand. And again, we went through, so each of them could work actually. So I don't feel this is like 10 times better than everything else. because there are some things I don't like, and it feels like a Notion page more than a landing. So we could argue that. Also, there is quite a lot to clean. And so now we come to, I don't even know how to change this, one sec. So now let's talk about cost. Okay, I stopped for a second. I don't know what I was saying. I was looking for the screenshot of the design usage. So if I'm repeating myself, sorry about that. So let's start with, get the fuck out. Lovable. I don't have a paid account for Lovable. And so even though this is gone already, like you can see, I have 5 credits per day. For this, which is not the best, I believe, I agree, but yet it used maybe 3.25 credits to come up with this. And I'm on the free plan. So technically, I could have a first round of revision with my free credits and get this slightly better within my free plan of 5 credits, or if I have the pro plan or whatever, the $20 one, I'm sure I can get to a pretty good place for $20. But I could get all the way with no money at all. Then Gemini, like I said, is part of my Google Workspace plan, and if you have a Gmail, it's also included, so that's technically free, or it would be the cost you pay for your email, so it's not really add extra. The only thing is, I agree, the usage is goes down very fast, but still free, and it comes back very fast. Next one is Codex, again part of the ChatGPT Plus subscription, or the ChatGPT OpenAI subscription, and I have very rarely managed to exceed my limits. So this is not really a good picture because now I'm on the pro plan, but I think I exceeded my allowance like 2 or 3 times. So this has not used any of the allowance to build this. So that's 3. The last one, so basically now Claude Design. For this first round, used 43% of my weekly allowance on Claude Design. And so when you think about they are using Opus 4.7, that makes sense, but basically I have a landing that is not perfect, that I need to clean, and I've already spent half of my allowance for the week, meaning after this is done, there's nothing else I can do, and I have to wait a week or I have to pay extra. So even if you would think this is actually the best, I don't see how you can realistically use Claude Design as the main thing. And so basically I don't think any of the other ones are, basically if we compare with Lovable is dead, I don't think they are, because for the same budget or even less, you can get pretty close to something that's usable and good enough, as opposed to burning through credit. So that's my take on the overall thing. So would love to know what you think if you've tried Claude Design. Let me know in the comments, and see you guys in the next one. Cheers.